I'm here today because I do have one pen edition, which kind of leads me into a topic I've been thinking about doing for just a little while. The aim of what I do is not necessarily to do pen reviews so much as to give ideas for people who are collecting, maybe new at it, and maybe relative newbies looking for ideas to add to their collection. So today in the mail I got something shipped in from China. I know a lot of people, oh, cheap Chinese pens. Believe me, that's not all I'm going to cover, okay? But there is a kind of a new entry into the Chinese market. Maybe it's been around for a while, but I have not seen it up until recently. And I had it on my watch list. I just deleted it finally. And then someone made a comment on one of the message boards that I'm on and said that he really thought it was a great pen. So I figured, all right, I'll go back and I'll check it out. So I ordered it. So today in this little box here was this little silver tin. So I opened it up. And what did I find? Well, let's see. They threw in a spare feed and a spare nib. They threw in a couple of spare washers and a little wrench. You can see those right in here. And at the back, you can see it's just a picture. It's not it's not a manual or anything. It's just a piece of paper with the name of the pen on it, which you really have to look at it because there's a lot of Oriental characters on it. But this right here, I'm assuming it's pronounced Caliarts, C-A-L-I-A-R-T-S, the Ego. So, it's a Demonstrator. And I don't mind Demonstrator pens. I'll show you Demonstrator pens. I'm going to give you a warning, though, for those of you expecting top quality Demonstrator pens. I've got some good quality ones, but I don't have the really expensive, high-end Demonstrator pens thus far, and because I haven't really had an interest personally. This is me. I'm not trying to show you everything that's out there, but I'll show you what I've got. Never knew if I was going to get into Demonstrators at all, so I started small. Started with inexpensive ones, and I got another one, and then another one, then another, and you know how that is. They kind of grew. So, the Caliarts. I went ahead and picked that up. And I inked it up with this right here. This is Private Reserve. Naples Blue is what I threw into it. So, it's a Demonstrator, so hopefully you can see the ink sloshing around a little bit in there. Now, it came with a fine nib. I don't like fine nibs. So I checked out, the spare nib that came with. It's an extra fine. Okay, well, that goes downhill from there as far as I was concerned. So, just to show you a few things. Okay, it's got the curved little clip, so it should be easy to put into a pocket. And it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere. It's plastic, much like most Demonstrators are, so you can see clearly through it. And it unscrews, and it's got this is a smooth section right here. It's got the steel nib, silver tone to it. Maybe you can see that a little better. It's a nothing special nib. And like I said, it's a fine nib. And that blue does look good in there though. But it's got the double wall seal on the piston. It is a piston filler like most Demonstrators. There are some Demonstrators too that take cartridges or converters, and I'll show you some of those here in just a little bit. So, it's a normal size. I mean, there's nothing extra long about it, nothing really short about it. It fits okay in the hand. I have no complaints of the way the pen, it posts securely. It's not going to come off, and it sits conveniently in the hand. It's not heavy, and it's comfortable to write with. So far, not so bad. My only complaint so far is the way that it writes. Number one, I'm not a fine nib kind of guy, okay? But I'll show you what I wrote with it a little bit earlier, and you probably hear my dog. He's all excited, probably playing with one of my boys in the other room. So this is the Caliarts. It's a Chinese pen. It's a Demonstrator model, and it's got a very fine nib to it, and that's the Private Reserve Naples Blue. So that's not such a bad looking ink. It's my first Private Reserve that I've tried. Picked up a few samples at the DC Pen Show in that size of a bottle, so I figured I'd give it a try. What the heck? Got a bunch of samples of different stuff that I picked up on that trip, so I was trying to decide what to throw in it. So anyway. Alright, so Demonstrator pen number 1 is the new one that showed up today. These retail for about $12, including shipping, 11 something. not all that impressed with it as far as the way it writes. It looks fine. It holds in the hand quite nicely. It's average size. Got no problem with it. So let me show you a few others though. In a previous video I did months ago, I covered some of these, but not all of these. So let's go with this one right here. This is a very popular pen, Jinhao 992. A lot of people are going to recognize that. It does not have ink in it. The reason it doesn't, because I just got this one in the mail a little while ago to replace one that I had given away. So found someone who wanted a fountain pen, so I said I'd give them my 992. Now, 992, it writes, it's a fairly solid performer. It's only a $2 pen, and personally, I thought it wrote better than this $12 pen did, in my opinion. It may just be the difference in the nibs. This one here, though, it's smaller. It takes a converter rather than being a piston filler. It fits comfortably in the hand, and it writes okay. A lot of people are fans of this, and I see I've seen them go lots of 15 in various colors. I thought about doing that, just buying a big old tray of them, and like I'd been doing before, giving pens away. Before I gave away a Jinhao 599, and I gave away 3 dozen of those. I've given away some 992s. I've probably given away 3 or 4 of those. So I may continue to do that since they're an inexpensive yet performing pen, and it's worth the $2 to get those. Enter this. Some of you may know what this is already. But it looks exactly like this, though, doesn't it? Look at how close they look. Do you have an idea what the other one is? I can tell you this. This pen that's inked up costs 5 times more than this pen that's not. The one I just showed you. The clip is a little different. The feed is about the same that I can tell. It's really... because it's not inked up, it's kind of hard to see the big difference. The section is a little smoother on one, maybe? I don't know. So let me see on this one. They're about the same, really, when you go to use them. Okay, so far, they're pretty much the same. One has some metal in here on the converter. Oh, metal on the converter. This one's black, this one's clear. So, essentially, they're about the same size. They're just about the same pen. Jinhao 992, Lingmo Lorelei. There's a lot of people who like the Lingmo Lorelei. Quite honestly, though, I mean, and it writes okay. I've got no complaints with how it writes. When I set it next to the 992, in my opinion, is the 992 a better bargain than the Lorelei? Is the Lorelei worth 5 times the price? I say no. They pretty much perform very similar one to the other. There are very few differences between these two pens. So, my wife was looking at buying a new pen and she saw the Lorelei and she was thinking about buying one. My advice to her was, you already have a 992. Don't bother wasting your money on the Lorelei, because quite honestly, it's the same pen, just 5 times the cost. That's my opinion. Alright, so let's throw out the next pen. A nice Demonstrator. Fountain Pen Revolution. I believe their pens come from India. Fairly inexpensive pen, relatively speaking, especially depending upon the models. They get some nice looking models, but I chose a blue and gold tone Demonstrator. And there's a couple things about this. I see there's some ink sloshing around still. I let this one sit for just a little while, for maybe a week or two. It took some priming to get it going. All right, it was not easy to get it to start. I had to play with it. Now this one, you'll see, is a piston filler. So it's got the screw at the bottom. It's got the screw off top. I happen to get the blue, so it's got a nice blue up here, clear here. And it writes fairly nice. This is, I believe, their Indus model. And I've got no complaints except the hard start, and I think I've had some ink evaporation because I had more ink than that. I haven't used it so much as to write it down as far as the ink level has been depleted. So it's a solid performer when I had it writing. This one is another Fountain Pen Revolution demonstrator. I got it in red. This one I gave to my son. This is their Guru model, G-U-R-U, and it's a piston filler as well. I got these two at the same time. They were having a sale at Fountain Pen Revolution. Buy this, get this free. And this is more expensive than this one. It looks more expensive, it feels more expensive, and it writes a little bit better than this one. Makes sense to me. So anyway, the Guru, fairly inexpensive pen. I don't think it's more like $5, $6, $7 somewhere in there. It's not a bad pen. Altogether, these two pens total $20, including shipping, is what I paid. So, you know, when it writes and it didn't have a hard start, it writes well. I cannot complain, and my son uses this one, and I think I put like Diamine Oxblood in this one. All right, next one. I am a fan of several brands. One of those brands happens to be Lamy. I have yet to use a Lamy pen that is horrible. My wife, I got her a Lamy Safari in dark lilac. I've got the Lamy Safari Petrol, and I've got like 5 or 6 Lamys in my collection. And this is the Lamy Vista. And it is also a demonstrator model. Essentially, it's pretty much the same thing as your Lamy Safari, only it's a clear demonstrator and probably a little more brittle plastic. But it's a Lamy, and it performs like a Lamy. So I have 0 complaints about this. It actually writes very nicely. Like a regular old Lamy, you do have a regular old converter. Of course, it's a Lamy proprietary. I think like a Z24 will fit in it, as I recall. But it's a performer. It's solid. And it's not incredibly expensive. I think you can get these in the $20-some range, 20 to 30, anywhere in that range, I believe, is what the Vistas are going for. So if you're looking for a demonstrator pen that's a solid performer, you cannot go wrong pretty much with any Lamy product. Even the little children's school pen from Lamy that I got my son writes very, very well. So every Lamy I've touched has been excellent. It writes every time I pick it up and go to use it on every Lamy pen I own. Alrighty, I'm going to throw one in here that's kind of out of order, but on purpose, just to throw some people off. And people are going to hate me for this, the Platinum Preppy. Never, ever, ever knock a Platinum Preppy. I hear people badmouth it as, you know, being the trash or the Walmart of fountain pens. I don't look at it that way at all. I use one every single morning. I get up and I write a little bit every single morning, and I keep a log book, and I keep a Platinum Preppy. I've got 2 of them, one of which I gave to my son. And this I took from his collection along with that Fountain Pen Revolution pen. This is a $4 pen, and it takes proprietary platinum cartridges. It writes every single time I pick it up. It writes well for $4. Matter of fact, the reason I got 2 of them is because I went to go buy some more cartridges, knowing that I was going to use mine. And the cartridges, when they... It depends on from whom you're buying. I buy a lot of stuff off from eBay when I'm looking at stuff like that. So I was just cruising through eBay, and I saw that, okay, here's the price on some cartridges. Oh, wait a minute, this guy here has the cartridges and another pen for like the same price others are charging just for the cartridges. So I got just the cartridges. Heck no. I got the pen with the cartridges, so I got 2 of them. And I may decide to take mine and make it into an eyedropper. I don't know, just for grins, because I haven't done that with any of my pens. I haven't really had a big desire to. I got that much curiosity, but I mean, it's pretty easy to do. And maybe a Platinum Preppy would be a good one to play with, just because it's a $4 pen. I mean, come on. And I know people who have done it. So anyway, it's a solid performer. It writes very, very well for a $4 investment. Come on. Nice little pen. I like it. Alright, this is getting to be a real popular pen in the fountain pen world. And another Oriental pen. This is the Wingsung 698. For you people who have been wanting, I guess, the poor man's version of a TWSBI, or you just want a solid performer that's about the $16 price range, somewhere in there, the Wingsung 698. And there are reviews of all these pens online. Look for them on YouTube. I'm not going to go in depth over each one. I only showed you the Caliarts because I really don't know anybody else who's done a Caliarts pen, and it just showed up today, so I figured I'd show you that. But this Wingsung 698, I like it. For the price, you can't beat this pen. For 16 bucks, you get a solid writer. It's pretty. I mean, it's got that gold tone trim to it on the cap, on the clip, around the back of the pen. Of course, it's plastic. It's comfortable to hold. It's about the right length. It posts okay. It's well balanced. But best of all, it writes very, very well, and it's only $16 for a quality pen. I'll be honest with you. Wingsung is not a brand that I particularly care for with some of the other pens that I've got. I've got 2 other Wingsung models that I've purchased over time. I've hated them. There's another Wingsung that's out there right now that's a Demonstrator that they've come out with. And quite honestly, I debated whether to do the Demonstrator pen video in case I bought that one. But I haven't ordered it yet because, like, it's a Wingsung and I've got one and it writes really, really well. Since I got this, I had 2 other Wingsungs that I thought kind of sucked. So not really looking forward to trying another Wingsung, but I will tell you the 698 is actually an excellent pen, and they made it to compete, and it's a winner as far as I'm concerned. So if you're looking for something quality at $16, all right, Fountain Pen Revolution, 15 bucks. Wingsung, 16. If I had to pick between these two, this one wins every single time. No joke. Let's see, what others? The Lorelei. I mean, a $10 pen that writes no better than a $2 pen that looks just like it. If I got to go between these two, the $16 pen is going to win every time. This Caliarts pen that I got just today, a $10 pen, $16 pen. Which would I buy? I'd buy this one every single time. So that's for the lower end. Now, as far as the Lamy Vista, I don't know. I don't think I'd choose this one over this one. Lamy's quality, but if you're looking for price alone, okay, the Wingsung 698. But if you're looking for quality, you will not beat the Lamy, I don't think. Now, then let's step it up a little bit. The TWSBI Eco. You know, for a long time I'd heard about TWSBIs, and until I saw it spelled out, TWSBI, and I was trying to figure out how do you spell TWSBI. But I've had the TWSBI Eco for a while. My wife liked it so much. I love ink sloshing around inside of a Demonstrator. My wife liked this one so much, I bought her one. The TWSBI Eco is a great performer. It's right at $28, so it's a little more expensive. One of the things about the TWSBI Eco, it's not going to post for you. That's the one downside I really don't like about it, but it can still be held in the hand just fine. Alright, I can deal with that, but it's quality. This is one of the better writing pens in that price range that I have, and I like it. I like it enough where I bought 2, so my bride can have one because she fell in love with it too. Let's call it 30 bucks, $28 or so, plus you're going to pay for shipping. Then you got a $16 pen. Is it worth it to step up to the 30? Maybe so. This does write better, I think, than the Wingsung, although this is a solid writer, solid pen, performs well. TWSBI, I think it takes it up a notch as far as your quality. So I would probably go with a TWSBI Eco because you've got a pen that you're going to be able to work on easily, that you're going to be able to keep, and you're going to have it for a long time unless you have cracking problems. And my last Demonstrator that I've got in my collection, and I'm only showing you obviously ones that are in my collection, I can't show you ones that I don't own unless I cheat and pull them off the internet. The TWSBI 580. The TWSBI Diamond 580AL, as I recall. And I got this one from another collector who was paring down his collection, and I filled that up with a turquoise. I think I've got the Birmingham Pens turquoise in this one. Now, significant price difference, twice the price of the TWSBI Ego. The 580 retails for about $60. Is it worth $60? Yeah, it is. I didn't pay full retail for it because I bought it off someone used, so I got a really good price on it, and I actually got a 1.1 stub nib that came along with it that someone else wanted more than I did, so I made sure that they got it. But I've got a medium nib on this thing. It writes very nicely, and it's a quality pen, and I paid $40. So, in my opinion, was this worth the $10, $12 more than this one? Yes. Yes. I like how it's faceted. I like how it feels in the hand. I like how it writes. You can post the 580. It's not overwhelmingly out of balance, although it's getting a little bit weightier in the back, and you can write it well without it being posted as well. But if you're looking for a very nice performing model, the TWSBI 580, you can't go wrong. So I own two TWSBI products. I know there are more out there, and I'll probably get some more over time. But this is actually probably one of the better performing demonstrator pens that I own. So that's what's in my collection. Two of them were in my collection. I passed on to my son to help get his collection going. And if you're looking for ideas for your collection, hopefully you saw something that you like. And I try to be honest. These are the ones I like. These are the ones I don't like. And is this worth the price? Is this not worth the price? It's up to you. Give it a shot. Experiment. That's what I did. I looked at reviews. I did some research. I targeted kind of what I wanted. When I saw something that was being offered for sale, I did a little bit of homework on it to see if it was a good price and if it was relatively a good value. I appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. And hopefully, for those of you who have been enjoying the videos that I do with my son, I'll get him back on sometime soon, and we'll do some more videos together. So, thank you much. Ciao.